I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with, Kurt? I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 Who You With, Kurt, dog. Once again, welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, dog. I'm Who You With, Kurt, dog. Please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, I can hear myself now. I have no idea what was going on. They do a lot of update on our system. I do apologize for that because I'm ready to get it rolling. Seems like whenever you want to do something real quick, you always have a little bit of issue. So we're gonna let it roll tonight. So tonight we're gonna talk about a couple of stories that been in the news that some of you may have heard about it. Some of you may not have heard about it, but we're going to put some spotlights on them and go from there. Kila Posey filed a federal complaint against her child elementary school. Yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight. Then also, Alvin Motley was killed over the weekend by a security guard, reportedly over loud music. Yeah, this one is going to be a little bit different because just got to stick around and hear all the facts of it that have came out so far. I appreciate you, T-Cal. I had no idea what was going on, but I appreciate you for letting me know. I would have did that whole show and y'all would have been reading my lips. And then also we're going to talk about, we talked about this last year. I believe it was last year. Vaughxx Booker out of Indiana. He just moved to Indiana and some friends and co-workers invited him to come to a lake for the 4th of July. And with doing that, he's new to the area, didn't really know anybody. So he said, sure. He goes, but almost cost them his life. A group of people try to lynch him. The video circled around last year. We're going to do an update on that story tonight. So you can live chat with us in the chat room and also continue to like, share, give hearts, whatever it is, whichever platform you own. Show love to the show. And if everybody just invite 10 people, that would be great. Tag 10 of your friends in it right now. So for they can know and know that we are live. If you are on my personal Facebook page, I appreciate you for being on there, but slide over to the podcast page, Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, dog. And then we can actually see your comments once you start to chat live with us. We can actually put your comment on the screen. The correct spelling of it is right there at the bottom of your screen. Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, dog, just the way it is on the screen. So, excuse me. I don't know what it is. Allergies been messing up. It's hot as hell here in Dallas. I don't want to go to hell. I can barely take this heat that is in Dallas. So I'm gonna continue to try to live my life right because this heat here, this here, shoot, it ain't no fun. This heat will make, yeah, I could go into it about this heat. Matter of fact, I think I did almost 6 miles today in the heat. Yeah, yeah, that you don't want, you know, that make your attitude bad when it's hot and somebody come up and say something crazy to you. It'll get your attitude real bad. So so if you are in Texas, make sure you stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, plenty of fluid, and um, I'm not going to discuss what I drink on the show, but um, I have found something that I feel that is better than most sports drinks. Um, so what I shoot me a DM, I'll tell you. But if they want to sponsor the show too, um, we will drink it. Um, so I was doing research on stories today, and I ran across this, and it's kind of strange in 2021. Black parent files complaint against Atlanta school for allegedly segregating classes based on race. They segregating classes based on race. Yeah, 2021. Atlanta parent Kila Posey has filed the federal complaint against her child elementary school, claiming that it segregates children by race. Posey said the principal of Mary Lynn Elementary School, Sharon Briscoe, believed the practice was in the best interest of the student, according to WSB TV2. First, it was just disbelief that I was having this conversation in 2020 with a person that looked just like me, a black woman. Posey said, "Is segregating classroom? You can't segregate classroom. You can't do it." According to Posey, the school placed black students in two separate classes with two separate teachers, and the white kids were placed in six classes with six different teachers. And here's more of the story per WSB TV2. The parent said she found this out when she let Briscoe know she wanted her child placed in the classroom for a teacher she thought would be a good fit. Posey said the principal told her that wouldn't work. She said, "That's not one of the black classes." I said immediately, uh, "What does that mean?" I was confused. I asked for more clarification. I was like, "We have those in the school." And she proceeded to say, "Yes, I have decided that I'm going to place all of the black students in two classes," Posey said. Posey said the insight her child to be placed in a class with the white student. She said Briscoe explained her child would be isolated. I explained to her she shouldn't be isolated or punished because I'm unwilling to go along with your illegal and unethical practice, Posey said. The Posey recorded a call with an assistant principal where they complained about the segregated class. The administration confirmed it was the principal decision and seemed to offer an explanation for why the classes were set up this way. "I wish we had more black kids. And then some of them are in a class because of the service that they need," administration said on the recording. Posey lawyer said the practice at Mary Lynn is a violation of Title V um, the Civil Right Act of 1964. She filed the complaint with the Department of Education, which is investigating the matter. When WSB TV 2 reached the Atlanta Public School about Posey allegation, they released this statement. Atlanta Public School does not condone the assigning of student to classroom based on race. The district conducted a review of the allegation. Appropriate action were taken to address the issue, and the matter was closed. Posey said she wanted the school leadership removed for carrying out this practice. Um, and then also, my community, had they known this, would probably be extremely upset, she said. Not just the black parents, but also white parents. So in Georgia, they're trying to segregate students. Um, shouldn't happen. And I'm gonna give my opinion about it and let me know how you feel about it. Because I feel like it shouldn't happen for the simple fact we are a mixed society. If you're gonna have kids strictly in a class based upon their race, how what is that teaching the kids? You need to be around everybody. Me personally, that's saying that you only should be with your own kind, which is a problem. It shouldn't be segregated. It shouldn't be. And yes, that school board should be held accountable for it, for the simple fact that that idea never should have came up. It never should have been, oh, we're gonna do this, and we're not gonna let the parents know. We're just gonna do it anyway. So yeah, that's a problem. And it shouldn't be that way. I don't care if it was a white school um, came up with the idea. It shouldn't be like that. They should not be able to segregate the kids like that. Um making sure. Okay. Making sure we was uh live on YouTube. Because it kept wouldn't come up at first. Um TCal said, yeah, the heat make you put it in all perspective. I don't want to go there either. Yeah, that heat ain't no joke. Um you definitely right about that. Um but in 2021, we're dealing with people trying to segregate schools. That's sending the wrong message. In a time like this, with all the tension of race going on, you don't need a segregate school. And you're not giving a real reason why. Only thing you're telling the parent, that's the best thing for them. Why is that? Why is that the best thing for it? Shouldn't be like that. That teaching the kid you only communicate with your own kind. No, we need to be able to teach our kids that it doesn't matter what color your skin are. We're all together. So yeah, that's that principle should be removed. Excuse me. Um, so that's one of the stories we're gonna hit on tonight. If you just not tuning in, yes, we had a little technical issue. Not sure why you couldn't hear me at first, but we are back live now. You can hear me, and you can live chat with us. If you haven't took the time out to like the page, share the page, subscribe to the page, please take the time to do that. I know Twitch have really been on board lately. I think after every show, I see a lot of Twitch followers, new followers on Twitch. So I appreciate that. and also YouTube. So let's continue to share this page and let other people know about it. Um, so I didn't hear about the story until earlier today, because I've been tired of dealing with a lot of stuff. Um, but apparently, over the weekend, there was a killing of an unarmed black man over live music in Memphis. And the family want justice, which they should get justice. Now, with this case, it's some things that took place that never should have happened. Um, I've talked about stories when I done security years ago, and what the story is kind of like, okay, I want to know your opinion on it. Uh, Once I read the story, see what you think about it and go with that. The family of Alvin Motley, a black man who was killed by a security guard, reportedly during an argument over loud music at a Kroger gas station in Memphis, Tennessee, is demanding justice and accountability for their loved one, who they say was nearly blind, unarmed, and didn't pose a threat to anyone. Well known civil rights attorney, shout out to Ben Crump, and the family appeared at a news conference on Tuesday. They are seeking civil settlement negotiation from Kroger's, the grocery store chain that owns the gas station, and the company that employed the security guard. Um, Motley, 46, was killed Saturday by security guard Gregory Livingston. An official with the state said he was unlicensed. He was unlicensed. Mr. Livingston was not and is not licensed as a security guard. Kevin Walters, a spokesman for the Tennessee Department of Commercial and Insurance, wrote in an email the commercial appeal notes. Here's what happened at the gas station, according to commercial appeal. Um, Pie Foster Motley girlfriend told police Livingston initiated an argument about the volume of the music in the car. The affidavit said, according to police narrative, Foster had Motley get back into the car to leave, but Motley exited the car and walked toward the security guard. Pie Foster stated Motley told the security guard, "Let's talk like men." According to the police report, surveillance footage showed Livingston draw his gun and shoot Motley, who was carrying a beer can and a lit cigarette. Um, Crump drew parallels between Motley and Jordan Davis, the 17-year-old who was fatally shot by Michael David Dunn in Florida for playing live music in 2012. Dunn is currently serving life in prison. Motley family say Alvin had um, Marfan syndrome, which affected sight, and commercial appeals notes. Livingston was arrested Sunday and faced a second-degree murder charge and is awaiting his court date on August 16th, according to ABC News. Livingston is in the Shelby County Jail on a $1.8 million bond. Livingston was denied an armed security guard license twice, once in 2017 and again earlier this month. Among the family members in attendance during the press conference was Motley's father, Alvin Motley Sr., who said he chosen to forgive Livingston for killing his son, but want him held accountable. I forgive the man, but I want him punished to the fullest extent. I want him to live as long as I live so he could think about what I have to think about forever. Alvin Motley Sr., Motley father, said during the press conference, ABC News, I want justice for my son. I want justice for my son. Now, reading the story really did bother me for the simple fact this guy either was carrying a concealed weapon or it was illegal. And let me explain why. Because I don't Tennessee is one of those states. I want to say in July, anybody can carry a firearm, kind of like how Texas have done. But here's the problem with this guy. He's a security officer that worked for a company. It does not matter if you are armed or unarmed. Let me put it in terms. If you are a commissioned or a non-commissioned officer, non-commissioned means you cannot carry a gun. A commissioned officer means that you went all through the training and you able to carry a gun on your post if that's the type of post it is, because each post have a different type of insurance. Now, here it is. He failed the test in 2017 to become a security guard. It didn't say commission or non-commission, just to be a security guard. And he failed earlier this month. Now, and I don't know if Attorney Ben Crump is listening, but that company, that security company is liable too, because he never should have been working as a security officer without being commissioned through the state. That's why they said he never had and don't have a security license. So they align not they running a business illegal, and they have this contract with Kroger's. Yes, Kroger's is responsible too, because they should have somebody inside to make sure that these businesses are on the up and up. And it's not somebody who just gonna say, hey, I could do security, I could do this, I could do that, because now you both are violating the law. Kroger should have done their due diligence and made sure this company was legit. But overall, this company is the one that hired, excuse me, that hired this guy, and also they allowed him to go on that post, knowing he was not licensed. And to be honest with you, yes, he got arrested for second-degree murder, which he should have been. He should have been arrested on the spot. If they would have done their investigating right, he would have been arrested on the spot. Because here it is, just because you put a uniform on and possibly put a pistol on your side, but if you don't have the proper credentials to do that, you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble when something like this happens. So yeah, you should be going after Kroger's in that company, because that company have violated the law. They knew this dude haven't passed that test. He shouldn't have been on any post, but they sent them to Kroger's. I don't know where this Kroger's located, but it might been in the hood. And unfortunately, it might been somebody who don't really care about somebody who don't look like them. So the thing is, even I know we talk about policemen that are scared or abuse their power. Security officers do the same. They will abuse their power just because they have that badge and that gun. If they have the proper license to carry, that will cause you problems. I know when I did security, um, if they needed for me to cover a property, well, guess what? If that's an unarmed property, even though I was commissioned to carry, I could not carry my firearm on that property. One, because that company did not have the insurance for it in case something happened. They didn't have the insurance for it. And they wasn't paying the rate for a armed security officer. So Kroger's and whatever company he was working for, hell, it might have been his own company he's trying to start up. But because some men approach you with a cigarette and a beer can, you shoot them. You shoot them. Instead of having a conversation with them, a discussion with them, you decide to shoot them. You deserve exactly what you get. Yes, you need to be held accountable. And hopefully, you won't get out no time soon. And yes, we did the story when I think the trial went on. It been a couple of stories where a young man was shot and killed for playing loud music. I know they said this was in 2012, but it was one about a year or two ago that we did talk about, and talking about loud music. Just because somebody play loud music, that don't give you the reason to kill them. How long are they gonna be there? Th- They at a gas station. They probably just gonna fill up, get 220, 30. As for my vehicle, it's $65 to fill up and go on by their business. But sometime, yeah, when I'm filling up and I hear a good song I haven't heard in a while playing, you know what? I'm gonna roll my window down and leave the music on while I'm standing outside my vehicle and filling up. Because there's no telling when I'm gonna hear that song again. But it don't give you a right to try to come up and police my vehicle. It's not disturbing nobody. I'm only gonna be here less than 5 minutes to fill up and go. So yeah, he should be held accountable. T-Cal said crazy fear can make you um, make very poor decision. Yes, it can. It can. That's why when you, it's not the same, but when you go through a scary house, somebody come out and touch you or something, you start swinging. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have been hit in a scary house. But yeah, that's really disturbing that we still have to deal with this today. I know another unarmed black man killed by somebody carrying a gun. Um, yeah, somebody who carrying a gun, who never should have been carrying a gun, was carrying that gun illegally. So he should go to jail. He took a life for nothing. Kroger's gonna open up that checkbook. That security company gonna open up that checkbook. It's y'all finna pay. Y'all gonna have to pay. It's no other way of doing it. Y'all need to pay. That was really, yeah, that was really crazy that this young man lost his life for carrying a beer and a cigarette. I have some things that I feel that uh probably gonna come out in the trial, but I'm not gonna help the defense. And the thing is, it never should have happened. It's not like he just posted up at the gas station, been out here for hours blasting his music. You are a security guard. You are not law enforcement. Only thing you had to do, if it was to that point, you sit back, take notes, and report. That's what you do. You should have called 911, let them come out there and deal with it. But instead, you feel like you had all the power in the world and you shot and killed this unknown brother. So yeah, that's jacked up. Um, one other story we're gonna talk about before we roll up out of here. Last year, um, Von Booker, Von Rush Booker, um, like I said at the beginning of the show, went to a 4th of the July celebration. Uh, just moved to, I think it was south of Bloomington, Indiana. And one of his co-worker or friends invited him to come out. He didn't know nobody in the city. He just moved there. So he went with them. As they walking down to the lake to this event, a group of people come out of nowhere and try to lynch this man. They tried. They really tried. Um, and as they tried to lynch him, the one of the guys reached off and punched him. He punched him back. Self-defense. But it's so important while we get out and vote. That's why I talk about voting so much. Listen to this story. The title alone should give you the hint of what's going on. Indiana man who survived attempted lynching charge for fighting back. He was charged for fighting back. The hate group tore off some of Von Rush Booker's hair as they beat his head and body while yelling white power. A black man in Indiana who was almost lynched by a mob of white men in the woods is now being charged for defending himself during the attack. As the Guru previous reported, the man identified as Von Rush Booker on Facebook detailed the July 4th encounter he had with a group of drunk white men who claimed he and his friends was on private property last year. Yeah, excuse me. The confrontation turned violent when a mob of perps, white supremacists, attacked Booker and attempted to lynch him as he sought to retreat from the area. A total of 5 people reportedly jumped Booker, dragged his body, and pinned him up against a tree. The hate group tore off some of his hair as they beat his head and body, and one of the male yelled, "White power, white power." Um, During the attack, one of the men pressed his body weight on Booker's neck. Thankfully, Booker was saved when bystanders showed up to intervene and began filming, which caused the attacker at first to get more aggressive. We're going to break his arm. Uh, Booker recount one of his attackers saying, then stated to the member of their party several times to get a noose. Among some of other choice slurs, the onlooker managed to get the attackers to leave, and some white allies were able to stop the violent racist mob from following Booker and his friend. Booker reportedly suffered a minor concussion, cuts, bruise, and had patches of his hair pulled out, according to report. He later wrote on Facebook, "We were calm and polite, but looking back now, it's apparent that these individuals began targeting our group the moment they saw myself, a black man, and we were looking to provoke a conflict." None of the attackers were immediately arrested after the incident. Um, the officers stated they contacted the prosecutor office, who relayed there was no immediate need to arrest anyone, and that the officer would simply file a report. Booker said on Facebook, "I'm gravely concerned that if any other people of color who were to cross their path, they could be killed." The FBI ultimately opened a hate crime investigation into the attack, and son Peter and Jerry Cox II was charged on July the 17th, 2020, with criminal confinement, battery, and intimidation, as reported by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Special prosecutor Sonia Lertkamp also charged Booker with felony battery and misdemeanor criminal trespassing last week. She charged the victim, with a felony battery and misdemeanor criminal trespassing last week, after he was almost lynched in 2020. It is unpresidential, uh, added attorney Catherine Liu, according to Washington Post. "I've been practicing well over 30 years in this state, and I had never seen a special prosecutor open a new case and file charges a year later." Booker believed the charges are in retaliation for his refusal to sign a confidential agreement and participate in a powwow mediation with the racists who tried to kill him. "There's nothing more American than charging a black man in his own attempted lynching," Booker said Monday, per the Post. "For the entire year, the special prosecutor had pressured and bullied me at every turn that if I didn't engage in the restoration justice, if I didn't let charges be dismissed, that she would charge me," Booker said. The Post reported it wasn't out of any new evidence or any shocking revelation. It was simply that, once again, a black person telling them no, and they were going to punish me. A black person telling a white person no, and they was going to punish me. Well, this special prosecutor, Sonia Lurkamp, you need to drop those charges. And matter of fact, Indiana State Bar should be investigated. How can you charge the victim that was nearly killed by your racist clients, or the racist defendants, yelling white power? I remember when it came out. I watched the video several times because I couldn't believe that happened on the 4th of July of 2020, right here in America. All because of the color of his skin. Sonya is telling us you probably wear a sheet at night too. For the simple fact, you're trying to intimidate him to drop these charges. Sound like some charges need to be brought up against you for intimidation, as well as the defendants, because you forced this man to get up. And not only that, you gave him a felon, which in most states, you can't get your voting rights back. So I hope him and this, once they get finished with the charges, for you to go and charge him with a felon, which is going to be hard to get it off his record, they should come after you. You should lose your law license. You should not represent no one else dealing with law. Trying to intimidate a brother to drop the charges against the people that damn near lynched him. Then you're talking about, if you don't drop him or do a mediation with him, I'm going to charge you. That's a threat. That's intimidation. You must realize we're not like our ancestors. We're going to fight you the legal way. What the hell? Got a big truck driving through the neighborhood. Yeah. So we will fight you the legal way. You should not be practicing law. You should lose your license. That says a whole bunch about you. You might allegedly at one of those meetings right now. But I can tell you, Mr. Booker don't look like he's gonna step down. So you might well let this trial happen. The whole world seen exactly what the Klansmen done. You might well get over it. Justice will be served in that case. And justice will be served after that case when you lose your license. So yeah, you just dug yourself a big hole that is not going to be good for you. Unfortunately. I know what you're saying. Nothing ain't gonna happen to me. My license are secured. I'm a special prosecutor. They not gonna take my license. Yeah, but this is one of those situations where we talk about all the time. Either an unarmed black man is killed or one is falsely accused. And that's what you're doing, filing false charges. So it sound like to me you wanted him to just stand there and take a ass whooping from these two racist guys or that group of racist people. That's what it sounded like to me you wanted him to do. But how dare him to fight back? How dare him to hit a white guy? It's a new time now. It's a new breed. You can't expect to attack someone and don't expect for them to defend themselves. You lucky that's all he did was hit him. Because at that point, he had every right to defend himself by any means necessary. And I don't know, Mr. Booker, but I could tell you this: the way that he's gonna fight you in court, if they would have tried to put a noose around his neck, he wasn't going by himself. One of them was going with him. So yeah, you need to drop those charge immediately and apologize publicly to Mr. Booker and turn your law license in while you're at it. Hmm, that'll be good. That would be great. I'm sure you want a mediation with Mr. Booker now, because once those charges come up against you, you're gonna want to talk about it. Mm-mm. Take it all the way, Mr. Booker. Take it all the way. Let them know we're taking a stand on racist things like this. Take it as far as you need to. That's how you fight it. If you're just not tuning in, you are listening to um, Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dowd. This is the People Show, according to Marcella Smith. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Tomorrow night, Thursday, it's going to be Thursday. So my BFF will be here tomorrow. Um, can't wait. And we're gonna have a good show tomorrow. Don't know what about yet, but I'm sure she working on some things. And no matter where you are, please um, um, please protect yourself, regardless of what some people are saying um, about the virus. It's not real. It is. It is. I know many of people that have had it. I know family members that have had it, and a lot of friends. So it is real. Do not let uh, these people brainwash you and think it's not. Here in Dallas, I was watching the news at 6:30, I believe, and they were saying that for the children at Children's Hospital, there's only a couple of beds left for kids. for kids. Adults been out of beds. Now Greg Abbott is bringing reinforcement in from other states, which they asked for it weeks ago, and now he's just not agreeing to it. Not only that, the schools are fighting against him. Clay Jenkins, Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins filed the lawsuit, and if I'm not mistaken, the lawyer did agree with them. They temporarily blocked Greg Abbott of executive order to allow mandates in schools. That should not even be a fight. That should be mandatory. That's why we need to get Greg Abbott up out of here. Uh, he's up for re-election next year. Him, Dan Patrick, Ken Paxton, Sid Miller, all of them need to go next year. And please do not think um, the guy from the car dealership in Arlington is a good choice. No, he may sell a lot of cars, own a car dealership. They sell a lot of cars, but he's not a good candidate for Texas. Why? When I went to San Antonio back in June, all up and down 35, once you get up out of Dallas and Hillsboro, you see signs all the way. Um, let's stop voter fraud. What voter fraud? It wasn't none. It was some, but it wasn't that many. And the ones that did it, it actually was somebody who was voting for Trump. So is that the voter fraud you're talking about? Just like Arizona is having to change their machines out from all the different recounts and all the people who've been around these machines. They have to change them out now because they could be contaminated and anything can happen. So yeah, um, I forgot the guy name, whatever his name. He on Vandergriff. I believe that's who it is. Um, I I don't know what the guy name is, but either way, he ain't good. He definitely not good to run for governor of Texas. We need somebody who's going to be for everybody. And from what the guy have said, now, see, he's telling us up in Texas he's going to be fair for everybody and all of this. But when you driving down 35, you see those billboards seem like every quarter of a mile talking about let's stop voter fraud. So you're telling us you want us to get rid of one clown and put a bigger clown in his place. Nah. Anybody who think like Trump, act like Trump, do not need to be in politics. You need to be equal across the board for everyone. For everyone. Not just certain group of people, but for everyone. But anyway, definitely protect yourself from the virus. Wear your mask, wash your hands. Um, stay safe. Stay safe. This thing is real. It is. It's not fake. Even though we have a lot of people talking about it's not real. Even Brad Paul, I believe. I seen something about he was banned from YouTube today or this week for putting out false information about the virus. Elected official. Uh, what's little Becky name? Green? That's another one. Remember those names that is going against what we should be doing and vote them out. And if you're not registered to vote, get vote. Get registered. If you have a felony, you paid all your dues, go to vote.org and find out if you could get your voting rights back. It depends on every state is different. Majority of them give them back to you. Go to vote.org and find out if you can get them back. TCal said, everyone, please stay safe. So until tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, when um Miss Risky will be here tomorrow. Until then, I love each and every one of you. Peace.